Morning. So we're up on the ladder again. This is part two of installing the solar system for a Class C motorhome. I chose mine, which is a Jayco Jayhawk, Jayco Greyhawk. Okay, I get that right. It's early in the morning. Only 2 cups of coffee. So we installed the wires on video number one. Now I'm going to show you how to install the actual solar panels. And there's a couple ways you can install them, and I chose one way over another. And I'll show you the reason why, and I think it's the smart way to go, no matter what the dealerships will tell you. So let me switch the camera around and show you the solar panels. So the first way, you can see, I'm on the ladder. This is the solar panel. It's 100 amps, and I put it on a bar that I can position it any way I want. Here's a traditional way that the dealerships will tell you to do it, and just keep it flat. Well, there's a couple reasons why I'm not going to do that. After putting them on here, as you can see, they get dirty. They get really dirty real quick from the pollen. Number two is these clamps, once you put them down, they're pretty much permanent because you have to put the die-core on them, which is a sealant, and you can't get at the screws if you have to change the wires. Okay, that's the big drawback where I chose not to, for that reason alone. Nothing is permanent, nothing ever doesn't get broken, but I have complete access to the wires here by having it tilt. These will go down flat, and once I get to the install, I'll show you how we install them, how we position them, and we can tilt them both ways. We can go this way or that way, depending on where the sun is. So I'm going to get down off the ladder now. Remember, I'm not even going on the roof to install these. It's all coming from the ladder. Okay, we'll see you when I get down off the ladder into the workshop. Now that we have the panel that was laying flat off the roof with the brackets, I have to turn it over, and we're going to take these brackets off. So it's a real simple process. I don't think you're going to have to sit through it. In fact, I don't want you to sit through it because you'll get bored. So these 4 screws, and again, I just hand tightened them when I was to see on the roof how they'd fit. I didn't permanently tighten them because I knew there was a possibility to take them off. So we're going to just take all these brackets off. See how simple? And we'll set them over here. We're not going to use them. That's 2. I'll do the rest off camera. This is the new packet. This is going to be the brackets to be able to position the solar panels. Okay, I forgot to tell you, well, I didn't forget, it's just in the process. The reason why I chose this over the flat mount was, the hotter these panels get, the less efficient they are. That's number 1. Number 2 is, remember, I can't access these wires if there's a problem. I'm going to have to really work to get the panel off the roof. These will they'll lie flat too if I want them to. But the positioning is really important, especially in the winter months. If you're anywhere where the sun is really low, it may not even charge your panels at all sometimes. So I can put these up at a 90-degree angles if I want, either way, either direction. And that's 3 reasons why. Again, the heat, access to the wires, and the position to get the most sunlight as possible. Okay, let's open the box. We get boxes every day here. It's kind of fun. So we'll get, they're going to make me work and take this box away too, even though I know. I only bought one, and I wasn't even thinking about installing it until I really actually analyzed it and did some research, talked to some people, people in my head. But here's the brackets. They'll go in the same holes, but they're long. They're long, so I'm going to have to cut these to length. So this will be attached to the solar panel itself. These will be attached to the roof. And these will be the adjustment brackets, which I'll show you in a little bit. And this is the hardware, okay? It's really nice because here you could use, the plastic thumbnail screws, and they really tighten down. Or you can get other things with cotter pins that make it easier that I'm going to put in mine. It's just easier. Pull the cotter pin out, boom, we're done, instead of trying to screw these in all the time. And the nice part about where I'm putting these panels is I never have to get on the roof at all, ever. I can use it for access it from my ladder. And that's good for an old man like me. So let me get started in cutting these. So the first thing we need to do is to mark it. I'm going to do end to end, or close to it. Always keep my, so that's my mark. Now, I rigged up a saw. So this is a metal cutting saw. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of sunny here, you know. And it's a miter box. And I can use it for all kinds of cutting material. So, simple process. Line up, pull the trigger, plug it in. That would help, right? You got to plug it in. It's not run by battery. Well, not yet. Not yet. Okay. There we go. We're going to plug it in, line it up. All right, we got to do 4 of these. We'll be back in a little bit. After we make the cuts, we have to make sure all these burrs are filed off so we don't cut ourselves or damage the solar panels or damage the roof. So take a file. Sandpaper does not work on aluminum. You gotta use a file. Round the edges like the uncut pieces are. Make sure you be able to run your hand without cutting yourself. At the bottom. This is the most important step when you're cutting any type of metal. You gotta make sure you get rid of all the sharp edges. I don't want any sharp edges on this thing. Okay, good. 3 to go. The cutting's all done. Now we're back at the workbench and we're going to install the brackets. So what you want to do is, it came with the same hardware, so we don't even have to open the bag on the new one. You can use exactly the same hardware. You're going to take the bolt, you're going to put a lock washer on, then you're going to put a washer. That's the order. Lock, washer, washer, and then we're going to put it through the bottom hole on the solar panel itself, up to the adjustable track, the adjustable track, yeah. So you can move it in, back and forth like this to get it to where you want it. All right, let's get this nut on. And when you get all those made of fingers, sometimes they don't want to work, especially when you're reaching over and you're on camera. You know, it's all these distractions. Usually goes a lot smoother when I'm by myself and the camera's not going. But that's you know, par for the course. Okay, we got that on there. So I'm not going to tighten them all with the wrench, but that's how you attach it, and that's all there is to attach the brackets. I put the bracket on the outside. I'm going to put that one on the outside facing. These are identical to these. These will go on the roof, and I'll show you that procedure also. So I'm going to finish up on that, and then I'm going to meet you on the roof. We're back on the ladder, and this is my setup right now. I have the brace to raise the panel up. We haven't installed the panel to the bottom of the roof, bottom or on top of the roof, but this is my setup. So I have the wires going under the channel, and that'll be fine because there's going to be three locations that we're going to be putting screws in, and you can see that's up in the air. Well, that's easy to fix because we have a couple shims. These are plastic shims, and so I can get the wires. I hope you can see this. We will shim that location there, and then the wires won't crimp and they won't crush. Okay, now it's important, I got one hand here, that you absolutely take measurements from the outside. It's easy to do it from the outside. We do all 4 locations down here, over here, and then from this point to that point. Now you have to make an allowance for this. That's going to ride on the inside. Okay, I'm going a little too fast. So this, if you can see it back here, it's on the inside. So this measurement on the outside will be the inside measurement of this rail. All 4 locations. So once we have that all mapped out, I'm going to put a compound in one of these slots. I'm going to fill that up, and I'm not going to drill a hole at all, because what we have is we have self-tapping screws. Now, these are the self-tapping screws. People say, whoa, my gosh, you're going to drill holes in your roof. Well, the compound, this GE, a lot of people use Jayco, but this, what they call coverage or service temperature, meaning where it can succeed, is minus 60 degrees to 400 degrees, and it'll stay waterproof and it will not shrink. It's guaranteed. I've used this product for 30 years. It's incredible. It's an incredible product. It's better than the Jayco that a lot of people in the RV profession use. Okay, so basically I'm just going to take a screw gun. I've got a bit for the end of that. I'm going to put this caulk in by the screw, and then when I'm all done, line it all up, I'm going to put the caulking over top the screw also. Alrighty guys, here's that alrighty guys again. This is installed now. We got the self-locking screws in. Everything is silicone. Now you notice neatness doesn't count here because it acts as a sealant also. So we did the inside and we made it really rough looking. It's almost like extra screws, because if it wiggles loose, it's not going anywhere because of the height. And of course we did the front. Get the idea of what these 2 panels look like at a 45-degree angle. And guess where the sun is? Right there, 45-degree angle. The nice thing about this setup, what I love the most, is these wires. Okay? These wires, when I put these down, they're covered and protected. They're not out anywhere. And it's now if I have to work on it, or I want to disconnect the solar panels for some reason, instead of in the control box, I just pull these plugs out. I have no energy to the motorhome. And if I want to play a joke on my wife when she's in there and she's in a hot shower, that'd be cool, wouldn't it? Just joking. All right, folks, I hope you enjoyed this. All right, we're going to get off this ladder, and we got another project, but it's not going to be in the motorhome. We're going to go work on the garden, because you can't take this on the road without food. If we're going to cook, I'm not going to stop at Walmart and all these places. I'm going to grow my own food. I have my hydroponic gardens going in the basement. I got my crustaceous vegetables. My romaine it's only what? May 10th? I got romaine in the garden ready to pick today. So, listen, subscribe to my videos, because the more people that subscribe, the more motivated I get to do really crazy things. Like tonight, if you check in a few days, I'm doing the gato sandwiches. I'm making homemade gato meat. Did I pronounce that right? Well, I'm Dutch, so my accents don't count. Okay, folks, see you on the road, or see you next time here on YouTube.